Let's stop talking about your rights and start talking about your wrongs.
And you're basing that on...
He's wearing a Rolex. The victim's wife told us he was missing a Rolex, one he never took off.
So wearing a Rolex is now illegal.
He refused to let us check out the back room in his meat market.
Jensen had avian blood on him. That room's the best spot in the neighborhood to find dead birds. There's something back there he doesn't want us to see.
Spare me. As it stands right now, there isn't enough evidence.
It's a chicken with an AK-47.
Give me reason to believe that there was something worse than slaughter going on in that room, or you don't get a warrant. And no arrest unless you've got something physical to tie this guy to the victim.
The AK-47?
You're a bitch.
Nina Haversham,
the vampires.
Partner at McCormick and Preston. Wait a minute. Nina Haversham, she was one of the suspects in the preppy jogger case.
So?
Van Buren took us off that one.
Yeah, but remember that little speech he gave back in February? All detectives are encouraged to ask about crimes they're not currently investigating. It's all about spreading the widest possible net. Well, the case may be closed for now, but the net's still open.
Hey, well, happy fishing, partner.
Hey, you know that meat market sells cow skulls?
Now, I know that definitely isn't on your diet.
Crunchy.
Look what it says
suck
in
the eyeballs out.
3 weeks ago Tuesday, we got a late-night complaint about noise coming from the meat market.
How late at night?
1:45 a.m. Then, 2 weeks ago, also on Tuesday, the same noise complaint.
Let me guess. Same thing happened last Tuesday.
About 15 minutes before Neil Jensen was wounded.
It's the meat market masturbator.
I think we've got our warrant.
Get him out of here.
All right, then. But at least let me watch.
I'm sorry. It's against
weird.
policy.
Okay, well, we found our bird blood. I'm still not sure what else we're
Dumbass still didn't take the watch
that'll tell
off.
us what was going on after hours Tuesday night.
Homie.
And whether Neil Jensen was in on it.
What the fuck? It's just like a dead guy right under the sink.
First, we found this corpse. I didn't do it.
Alright, we circle things. Search screen contains hints you need to find. Alright, so we need to find possible murder weapons, source of avian blood, a curved blade, a bloody blanket.
A cum stain.
Cum stained blanket.
But he had all this time to get this shit out of here and replace it, and he's like,
right. Yeah, he's like, they won't come back.
They won't get a warrant. Nah, that's fine.
Alright.
They don't know how to do that.
Well, first things first. The fuck is that?
Yeah.
Excuse me, ma'am.
That's a hell of a lot of blood.
Could have come from a pig or something, I guess, but why would you wrap a pig
How did
in
we
a
get
blanket?
access?
I mean, a real pig in a real blanket.
Let's take it back to forensics.
How did we get access to the room?
There was noise complaints multiple times from the same place around the time the guy that got murked got initially injured.
So what are we looking for?
Murder weapons, evidence of gambling debts, source of avian blood, a curved blade.
Let's check the table. There might be gambling debt stuff on there.
The huge butcher knife.
Think this could be our murder weapon?
I don't think so.
He didn't look like he was stabbed, did he?
What about that red journal that sort of sticks out?
This?
Possibly. We got rid of something. But look at the ledger. Look at the ledger. Yeah, I think it's just the open book.
Now we're cooking.
What's that?
Says names of people to
and
kill.
I got a feeling these ain't sales of round in here. They look like bets.
Looks like NJ owes a bundle to EH.
EH. Edward Wang.
Of course.
I'll hold up in court. What about the blanket with the blood on it? Oh, no, fuck.
Let's
not
go.
Pussy, that ain't it.
Moist towelette.
The fuck are these supposed to be? What is that?
Hacksaw. Bone saw.
I'd like the hacksaw. Sorry.
Saw, dude. Hacksaw.
Saw,
I wonder where the bone
dude.
saw is.
This could do a guy in.
Sure, but not our guy.
That'd be really hard to kill somebody with. What about that curve?
Yeah, but for a while.
No, keep going. Can you keep going?
There's some fucking
that
blades over
blade
here.
With the blood right there. Yes.
Van Buren said it was a short, curved blade.
All right, so there's two mystery things that we need to find with 7 clues. What are we looking for? Better than a scaling blade. Source of avian blood.
Is that not the blanket, maybe?
Let's look. I mean, we got 7, so we might as well.
I mean, Could it be this dead chicken right here?
Yeah.
Nope.
What about the closed trash can, or just the trash cans?
Mm.
Fuck.
Oh. You want to search the garbage?
Hey, nothing I like better than digging through a mound of chicken heads and feathers.
Yes, sir.
Ah!
No, there's nothing in here.
That might be,
What'd you find?
It's the carcass of a whole rooster. It's a big one, too.
There's a
Why do you
condom
suppose
in
they
this
just
rooster's
throw it
ass.
away?
Maybe it died of diphtheria.
Nah, it's all cut up.
I think you're gonna die of dip shitty.
alright, so there's one more.
Bloody blanket, we
Mystery
got
item.
that. Evidence of gambling, we got that. A curved blade, we got that. So we're looking for another possible murder
Sure.
weapon.
Or another source of avian blood.
Yeah, but we've got a curved blade
No.
and 2 murder weapons. So I think we need another
Okay.
murder weapon.
Murder weapon.
What could possibly kill a man in here?
Maybe circle the dishes and see if any of them move. See if there's anything hiding in the sink.
Like these buckets?
Yeah. No, okay. I would go. I wouldn't waste our other 2 because we only have 2 left. Do you want to go all the way to the left? I mean, all the way to the left. See if we missed anything on that end.
Maybe
Whoa?
the post-it notes?
No. There's another
broom.
short, curved knife on the wall that looked like it had a little bit of blood on it.
Maybe that's the
Oh,
murder
wait.
weapon.
Yes.
Hit him with the can of spray.
Not the McDonald's Sprite. No.
No! That's how you'll do a Popeye's biscuit with
Like-
the McDonald's
I wonder
spray.
what that's
Enough to kill a man.
Why is this drawer out?
Oh yeah, look in the drawer. Look in the drawer.
Ha ha! What the fuck are you?
Hey, look at this.
A short, curved blade.
What do you want to bet it's a match for the murder weapon? Wonder what it is.
Wait, let me see that
We up.
blade again.
We did it!
I know what this is. It's a gaff. They attach these to the claws of... Hey, Mr. Huang!
Uh-oh.
I think you've got some explaining to do.
Chicken fighting!
I got a lot of customers right now.
We can talk out there if you'd rather. I'm sure they'll be interested to hear about how you're running a cockfighting ring.
Cockfighting, of course.
You called it,
That-
Dylan.
I got it.
Kosher?
What?
What do you think, Ray? We
I
got
thought
enough
Dylan
to
called
arrest
it.
this guy?
Yeah, I say we cuff him
I don't
for
know.
the murder of Neil Jensen.
Murder.
William
Yeah,
called
but
it
I mean,
cockfighting.
he's
I
hold
called it
everything.
gambling.
Sure, it all hangs together. Jensen owed a gambling debt to Mr. Huang here, and when Jensen can't pay up, Huang starts eyeing his Rolex. Neil, thanks for 10
Maybe if
wonderful
I just
years.
reach for it, I'll
Ellie.
give it
You
back.
gotta believe me. I didn't
This
kill him.
is the
Then who
fucking
did?
stupidest person of all time.
Ricardo Guzman.
The chicken
think.
Where
killed
can we
him.
find him?
He doesn't have a fixed address. Moves around from couch to couch.
Take this guy in.
Wait,
This
I got his cell
dumbass.
number.
What luck. I'm
Instead
glad
of
you know how to
getting
follow
rid of the
instructions,
blade,
Mr.
he
because
just
we've
put the
got a little
drawer
job
on the
for
ground,
you.
hoping nobody would lift it up.
And the chicken in the trash. Oh,
Yeah.
we'll take it out. Fucking,
Oh my
they won't be
God.
coming.
Incredible, incredible place.
Okay, Wang, you remember what we told you, and this ought to go down quick and painless.
He's gonna kill me, you know, when he finds out I'm working with the police.
By that time, he'll be in custody. That is, as long as you play it cool and take your cues from us.
Yeah?
Ricardo, it's Huang.
Hey, what's the matter, man? You sound funny.
Already.
Cops question and left.
Cops had me worked up, but they're gone.
The cops, they worked me over pretty hard.
But you didn't say nothing.
No, I held firm. They're gone now.
They find anything?
Ooh.
Nervous?
Casual, I feel like. Maybe? No. Yeah, I answered the last one. I'll let someone else cook.
Casual, nervous. Trey, you want to do nervous?
I want to try nervous. Anyone,
Yeah,
Andrew.
they're onto you.
Let him cook.
Yeah, afraid so. They know everything.
Okay, bruh.
They know everything.
What am I supposed to do?
bruh.
We got another fight coming Tuesday. You know I can't cancel it. I'm on the hook to Menendez. $5,000, man, and I'm broke.
Everybody owes everybody.
I'd
This one I'm
suggest,
Yeah.
go, sir.
New location. I'm guessing that's. I'm like 90% sure on that one.
He's not just gonna be like, the cops are telling
Hold
you.
the fight in a new location.
Better not hold the fight at the shop. Too risky. You gotta find a new location.
Where, man? I don't know nobody with that kind of space.
Tell him you do.
I do. My cousin Lou runs a body shop in Park Slope. Let me talk to him.
See, you're a pal, man.
Got his ass.
Now tell him you'll meet him later.
Let's meet up later once everything's squared away.
Ain't no fucking way he can't hear that man right next to him.
Neutral location.
Neutral. Yep.
At the police station.
Somewhere
down.
by Pulaski Bridge, 6 p.m.
That street corner. Over by the bodega and the pharmacy. On 21st by Pulaski Bridge. Around 6?
See, sounds like a plan. See you there.
You done good, Mr. Huang.
We'll take it from here.
Also take 6 of your finest chickens.
Fresh from the slaughter.
Over here.
He's gonna get killed.
Huang is indisposed at the moment.
Stop!
Ricardo Guzman, you are under arrest for the murder of Neil Jensen. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Dun, dun.
Mr. Guzman doesn't dispute the
$50,000
cockfighting charges. We're prepared to plead guilty on that one.
Está insultando la República
I trained
Dominicana.
my cock for
Let me-
10 years for that fight.
My client is not a murderer, Mr. McCoy. Mr. Jensen died as a result of an accident.
An accident.
He attempted to handle an armed bird, and he lost control of it.
Really? Unbelievable. A man gets carved up like a side of beef. Guzman lets him slowly bleed to death, then dumps him on a doorstep and expects to walk away.
I checked with the Dominican consulate.
And?
He's wanted there for drug running and armed robbery.
Well, I want him here for murder.
Is it possible it really was an accident?
Does it matter? Neil Jensen didn't have to die. Guzman had 2 hours to get help and he callously stood by. Murder 2. Depraved indifference.
Huzzah! Alright, he's gonna try to make Guzman seem sympathetic.
Mr. Guzman, when did you first meet Neil Jensen?
Maybe a year ago, I guess.
Who initiated the relationship? You or him?
He did. I didn't want to have no part of him, man. Not at first. What I do, I gotta be careful who I let in. Can bring trouble, you know? Especially a white guy.
Mr. Jensen came to you with an offer.
Wow.
Is that right?
I feel so offended now.
He had a bird.
Leading.
And, he wanted me to help him raise it and fight it.
And at first you said no?
That's right.
Objection.
Objection.
Pretty sure that's not okay.
What was the asked and answered thing again? Like, what is that? Asked and answer is when... No.
I thought that was leading, but that's not an option. I think we just fucked up.
He is leading, but no. So, Assuming facts, not in evidence. There's no evidence of that being said, right?
I mean, if you open the transcript, we can see what the last question and shit were. He came to you with an offer, and at first you said no. That's right. I think we shouldn't have objected. I think it's one of them, but I don't know which one. It's not asked and answer. It's not speculation.
I object. Assuming facts, not in evidence.
I don't see how that objection applies here. Overruled.
What convinced you to take Neil Jensen under your wing, as it were, in spite of your suspicions?
He knew cockfighting ain't how they make it out to be, you know?
It's a more civilized practice than people realize, you mean?
That's leading.
That's leading. You're going to jail, pal.
Objection, leading.
Sustained. Strike that.
What sort of sentiments did Mr. Jensen express to you?
Well, like, caulking's a real sport. It takes dedication and discipline. And you know, it can teach you a lot about life if you let it.
So you agreed to keep the bird and help him raise it?
See, together we raised El Jefe, and together we conditioned him to fight. He was a good bird.
Speculation.
Why don't you tell us, in your own words, what happened on the night of Tuesday, May 5th?
Well, Neil come in that night really keyed up, man, like super keyed up. He was jumping all around. I think maybe he was on something.
That's speculation.
All right. Speculation.
Objection. Speculation.
Sustained. Strike that from the record. Watch yourself, Mr. Guzman. Please confine your description to actual events.
Go on.
Got his ass.
Well, he was excited.
Got.
I sold him cocaine the day before.
Fight. There were some other birds up first, but he couldn't sit and watch, man. Pacing around.
Now give me some drug trafficking charges.
Finally came. Okay, I tell him. I'm the handler. I'm experienced at this stuff. Let me do it.
Get the bird into the ring.
The pit, yeah. It could be dangerous, you know, especially with the long heel.
A long blade attached to the rooster's spur.
Right, but Neil wouldn't hear nothing I was saying, man. Being he was a rider, he had to do everything himself. Well, anyway, he's yelling about how he had to be the one to handle El Jefe. I told him don't. I ordered him even, but he really got in my face about it, man, so I had to back down. Then he went for the rooster, like he was going for a football or something. Grabbed it around the neck. You understand, this is a bird what's been conditioned to fight. The bird goes crazy.
It attacked Neil Jensen. Naturally, you were horrified.
Is that leading?
Well,
I don't think so.
Can we read what leading is again?
When's this guy getting shot?
You can also, because it ends with a question. Did it end with a question?
I think you said naturally you were horrified. I guess that's not really a question.
I think given the situation he described, that would be a valid emotional response. So,
sure. I think no. Fuck.
Oh.
I made a grab for the bird.
That wasn't even an option. Putting yourself in considerable danger.
I think we have to keep using like all the different objections we've used throughout the entire fucking game.
I wasn't even listening to it. Yeah.
Putting yourself in considerable danger in the process, I imagine.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Fuck it.
Objection. Leading. Counsel is putting words in the witness's mouth.
Withdrawn.
But by the time
Good
I got
call,
the
Doc.
rooster under control, the damage was done.
I see. So what then? What did you do for him?
I wrap a blanket around him to try stop the bleeding, you know?
Did you think to take him to the hospital?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but he told me not to. He wanted me to take him home.
Mr. Jensen asked you to take him home.
Mm-hmm. His wounds, I mean, he was cut up pretty bad, but not so bad as all that. He should have pulled through, no problem.
Yes.
No expert knowledge.
Yep.
We don't know that.
Objection. No expert knowledge. Considering the outcome, I think we can conclude that Mr. Guzman's assessment of the situation is off.
Sustained. Facts only, Mr. Guzman.
You swore on the Bible you'd tell the truth, Mr. Guzman.
I'm telling the truth. I panicked maybe. You would have done the same. But I did what Neil asked me to do. What I thought would save his life.
You're a dumbass.
Nah,
and a liar.
McCoy.
Hey, we pulled it through in the end.
We did. We only fucked up a little bit.
Mr. Guzman.
When's the dude gonna get shot now? Right here, right?
Right? Alright, we're gonna cross-examine him for cockfighting.
With the incident.
The incident in question occurred on the night of May 5th.
That's right. Maybe 1:45.
1:45. And you say you acted to save him?
Of course I acted. I tried to help him right there, and when I couldn't help him, I took him home, like he asked me to.
No. He died at 4. He got wounded at 2, but he died at 4, so there's 2 hours unaccounted for there.
99999.
2 hour gap between wound and 911.
But there's a problem here. The 911 call is time-stamped 4:03. 2 hours after the incident, Mr. Guzman. Under the circumstances, it's fair to ask, couldn't your response have been a little more prompt?
Hijos de puta mentirosos.
I'm sorry, Mr. Guzman.
It's a mistake. Someone's not telling the truth.
Are you suggesting 911 got the time wrong?
Or somebody.
Wow.
Well, the wife could have seen her husband and then just waited 2 hours.
Yeah, she's like, let him die first, and then I'll call.
First one.
You're a native of the Dominican Republic?
Yeah, that's right. And proud of it, man. It's a great country.
You people like
No
drugs,
dispute,
don't
but
you?
you can't go back, can you? Because you're wanted for certain crimes?
Objection. Criminal history irrelevant for establishing propensity.
It's certainly reasonable, Your Honor, to suppose Mr. Guzman's record of armed robbery might...
Sustained. unless the defendant has been convicted of murder.
He has not.
The jury is instructed to disregard Mr. McCoy's remarks.
Who the hell was that?
No idea. Barbaric sport?
Mr. Jensen's wounds were awfully deep. There must have been quite a lot of blood. See, yeah, there was. I hope you don't get faint at the sight of blood, Mr. Guzman. Psst, no? No, I guess you wouldn't. I guess you're pretty used to it. Cockfights can get pretty bloody, I expect. Yeah, sure they do. In fact, I suppose that's part of the fun.
Objection!
Sustained.
Homie's gotta relax.
We're getting swept. Holy shit.
He doesn't even have to give a reason.
You knew it was
to
dangerous for Neil Jensen to handle his own rooster. Sure it was dangerous. When those birds are ready to fight, man, they're ready to fight. Then why didn't you stop him? I tried, man, but like I said, he wouldn't take no for an answer.
No.
No. El Jefe testified. The chicken testified.
3. Oh, fuck, no. Neil didn't testify. Oh, fuck.
It was El Jefe.
My dyslexia fucked us. I'm sorry.
Remember when the dead guy said it?
Fuck.
I have him right here. I'm a necromancer.
You took Mr. Jensen into your confidence,
We're doing
initiated him into your
necromancy in
illegal
this fucking
activities.
courtroom.
Knowing your new disciple was a writer, didn't you worry that he'd give the game away, expose your ring, and force you to shut down operations? Well, sure I was worried, but he promised me he'd keep quiet, and he wouldn't write anything neither, unless I okayed it first. And you trusted him. Yeah, he respected me, man.
Yes.
The second one, right?
Second one. Yeah.
He don't respect you. No one respects you.
Well, it doesn't seem like he respected you very much on the night he died. I mean, he defied you. He disobeyed your orders to stay away from the rooster.
He was on the cookhouse.
Yeah, I guess that's right. Let's get back to those
lady with the stupid hair.
Maybe this time we can get
Bowl
back straight.
fucking head
You
ass
drove
haircut.
Neil Jensen home,
Fucking loser.
like he asked me to. And you dropped him off at the door. What time was that? 4 o'clock? More like 2. Did you stay with him till he was safely inside? No. No. You dumped him there and took off. Why, Mr. Guzman? I heard a baby crying as I was coming up to walk with Neil, and I saw a light turn on, so I knew she was up. I was sure she was going to come down and get Neil. Yes? But I didn't want to have to be there and explain it all to her, you know? No, I expect you didn't. No further questions.
Whew. All right, we're gonna cook the
Want
wife.
to take this one, Abby?
The people call Ellie Jensen to the witness stand.
Night of the murder.
Mrs. Jensen, tell us how you discovered your husband on the night in question. Well, I heard a sort of a thunk coming from outside the front door. Did it wake you up? No, it wasn't loud enough for that, but luckily I was awake. Noah, my baby, had just waked me for his usual feeding. That at least conforms to Mr. Guzman's testimony. What condition was your husband in when you found him? It was horrible. He was covered in blood, and he had this look in his eyes like he knew he was dying. I kept saying, "Who did this to you? Who did this to you?" But all he could do was move his mouth. I think he was saying, "I'm sorry." And there was nobody with him?
The chicken man.
There was all of them. Now this is crucial. Mrs. Jensen, what time did you discover your husband? Just before 4 a.m. You're absolutely sure? Yes. I glanced at the clock when my baby cried at 5 minutes too. He always wakes up at the same time.
Aha!
Thank you, Mrs. Jensen.
Arrest him.
So you finally come around, eh, Harlan?
If that's the way you want to look at it, Jack.
Great. What are you looking for?
No jail time. Mr. Guzman pays a fine and does 12 months probation.
Come on, he killed a man.
Actually, a rooster killed a man.
He sat idly by for 2 hours and let an innocent man bleed to death.
And? People do that all the time.
Manslaughter.
Manslaughter, everybody.
What? I didn't read what the two were.
Man's laughter. Let's do it.
Man 1, he serves 7 to 15 years plus a $2,500 fine for cockfighting. How about it, Mr. Guzman?
Why would we agree to that? We'll see you in court, Jack.
All right, Joe Biden, chill out.
Yeah, we didn't do a great job.
Ricardo Guzman will never win any good citizenship awards. He's a devotee of cockfighting, a sport which many, no doubt, many of you here in the jury consider barbaric and inhumane. But it's important to appreciate that the defendant is the product of another culture. We mustn't let cultural differences blind us to his essential humanity. Consider Mr. Guzman's relationship with the deceased. He agreed to act as Mr. Jensen's mentor, not for money, but through mutual love of the sport. For many months, he patiently worked with him and trained with him. He became Mr. Jensen's mentor and his friend. And when the accident occurred, Mr. Guzman reacted as a friend would react, with care and concern. Perhaps he made the wrong decision in taking the injured man home. Perhaps you or I would have gone straight to the hospital. But remember, Mr. Guzman is an immigrant, an outsider, with an outsider's suspicion of big institutions. My client has lost a friend, perhaps as the result of his own mistake. And for that, he will suffer for the rest of his life. But
in jail.
Does he deserve to go to jail? Good people of the jury, I beg you, let's not compound one error with another.
Damn. Low-key, he convinced me.
Low-key, we did a pretty bad job this time.
This old dude's a little asshole.
The 2-hour gap.
2 hours. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. 2 hours. 2 hours between the time Neil Jensen was stabbed. Stabbed repeatedly. And the time the accused saw fit to do something.
2 hours.
2
Think
hours.
with me now.
2 hours.
Agony.
2 hours.
2 of them.
Losing
2 hours.
Are your brains on? Listen to this next one.
But there was no mercy.
2 hours.
Not
3
for Ricardo
hours.
Guzman.
2 hours. What are Guzman's motives?
I would do the savagery of cockfighting.
Right.
The accused has shown no
Hitting people
remorse
with
for
your
his
penis
role
is
in
savage.
organizing and promoting cockfights. He takes pride in the sport. But what sort of sport is it that arms innocent birds with knives? That goads them into slashing one another, merely to satisfy the bloodlust of the onlookers. It's ironic, savagely ironic, that Neil Jensen's curiosity about cockfighting led him, finally, to receive a mortal wound in the very pit that had seen so much death. We can deplore the practice and the people who engage in it, but we shouldn't be surprised when it leads to outcomes such as this.
Uh-oh. She's actually really into cockfighting.
So, motive?
Let's see
The
what his motives
accused
were.
knew Neil Jensen well enough to understand the limits of their trust. If the victim had survived the attack, there would have been questions. The story would have come out. Guzman's illegal operation would have been exposed. He would have faced prosecution, or loss of livelihood at the very least. He had a lot to lose and a lot to gain by doing nothing. The legal community has a phrase for this behavior: depraved indifference. None of us was in the slaughterhouse with Ricardo Guzman and Neil Jensen. None of us knows exactly what was going on through the mind of the accused as he watched his cohort writhe on the floor. We may never know exactly why he stood and waited. But we aren't being asked to judge Mr. Guzman's motivations. We're being asked to judge his acts, or in this case, his failure to act. And in this case, I think you'll agree. Inaction speaks louder than words.
Has the jury come to a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
In the charge of murder in the second degree, how do you find?
We find the defendant, Ricardo Guzman, guilty.
1 degree for every hour. That's 2 hours.
How did we get that? They were siding with the defense.
Not much comfort to you, I'm sure.
It won't bring Neil back, but it gives me some closure. Will you be okay? I think he'll see to it. Right on schedule as always.
He's so guilty that it didn't matter how bad we did.
What is that walk?
Know anyone who needs a nanny?
Mrs. Jensen let you go.
I do.
Figures. I'm just one more thing that reminds her of Neil. And
Poor Harley
God
Quinn.
knows she got rid of all his other stuff. His photo albums, his collections of rare books.
Well, different people grieve in different ways.
Yeah, I think she'll be doing her grieving in Aruba. She bought tickets yesterday.
You don't suppose...
You've got a
killed him.
suspicious mind, Curtis. Up for a little field trip tonight?
I knew it!
The baby isn't real.
5 minutes to 2.
Right on schedule.
You think that means...
She couldn't
what?
bring herself to get rid of the rooster in the chicken coop, but the rooster in the house is a different story.
The baby was cockfighting.
I'm not sure I understand.
She went up on the witness stand and told the court that she found her husband at 4 a.m.
But she told us that her baby wakes up at the same times every day, and we heard the baby wake up at 2.
So, isn't it possible that the baby could have also woken her up at 4 a.m.? We're talking about a baby here.
You don't
Oh
have
my
any proof that
God.
Ellie Jensen is
Duh,
lying.
baby.
Which is why we need a warrant to search her brownstone.
And just what are you hoping to
What
find?
does that mean?
Mrs. Jensen mentioned that she installed a nanny cam in her nursery. Those things have timestamps on them.
She might be lying or not, but the nanny cam always tells the truth.
I knew it!
Fine, I'll give you
She
a
was
warrant to
not
confiscate the
sad
nanny
enough.
cam, but
And then
only
she
that.
came to court and fake cried, trying to get sympathy when she killed him!
Neil? That you?
2 a.m., Mrs. Jensen. Care to tell us why you waited so long to call 911?
You bitch.
I wasn't thinking straight.
William, you were right. It was her.
You're thinking, guy.
I was just so mad. He promised me he was going to stop running around like a damn teenager, wasting our money and risking his stupid neck, all for the sake of his stories. He was going to calm down and be normal, a decent husband and father. He swore.
Get a divorce. You know how much money you'll get
I
out of
didn't
that?
want him to
I know he won't
die.
have any, but you know how much money you'll get out of
I
that?
just wanted to teach him a lesson.
She's not trying to
I
pay
think you
that.
You freak bitch.
Jury just came back in the Jensen case.
And?
Guilty. Man 2, 10 to 20.
Looks like PS 84 is going to have to find themselves a new principal.
Good work, gentlemen.
And fucking El
Wait,
Jefe's
so
gonna
how about we
find a
grab
new
lunch?
dad-
You still on
mom
that
and
diet?
dad.
Are we
Nope.
going to let
Ditch the
the
health
Dominican
food
guy out of
and,
jail then? Because he didn't do
Julia.
it.
Right on schedule.
No, fuck
And I
him.
feel great.
Any
Yeah,
preferences?
now I actually feel
Nope,
kind of
I'm up for anything.
Yeah.
Except chicken.
Yeah,
For
his
some
lawyer
reason,
was
that doesn't
actually
appeal to
cooking,
me.
and I don't know how we won. We did it! Home to roost. What a
Our
pun.
boss is a little asshole.
I don't feel as good about that one as the other one.
No.
No. No one got shot in the courtroom. That shit was.
I don't mean like it was. I don't
Yeah.
mean like it was boring. I mean like we helped send an innocent. Well, not innocent, but we helped send a person who didn't commit the murder to jail, and then I don't know if we let him out.
Yeah, I feel like the old dude's a bad guy. Kill him.